In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Unite your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With the Sol ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your Sol ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Unite your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With the Sol ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With the Sol ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Unite your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With the Sol ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your Sol ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Unite your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With the Sol ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your Sol ID, if your reputation grows.
What's up, everyone? GM to Solid Talk number 60, guys. 60 weeks of live streaming. Actually, insane. We did 60 live streams. It's a lot of live streams if you think about it. Anyway, welcome to the 60th version, and we have a special one today. As you can see, first and foremost, there's no Pierre. Don't worry about it. The man is still alive, and he's still with us, but not today. Give the man some rest. So I sent him to bed because he's still recovering from being sick. But that won't stop us, especially because I'm not alone. I do have my friend here, GM Benny. How's it going, man? How you doing?
GM. I'm feeling great, my friend. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good as well. I left my mic in the back today because I thought I'm gonna look fucking funny if I'm the only person with a microphone in the hand. So I have my mic here. Do you hear me well?
Yeah, sound good. I also am at my parents' house, so visiting for the weekend. So if you hear kids running around or any other background sounds, that's what it is.
It is what it is, but we're not gonna stop only because someone is sick or someone is traveling. Nope, we're gonna show up every single week here for Solid Talks because this is what we do. At Solid Talk, we're gonna give you the behind the curtain view, behind the curtain of Solidity Protocol. We're gonna talk a little bit about the ecosystem overall. We're gonna touch on some topics on the timeline. We're gonna look at Solami, our favorite token out there after Solid. And we're gonna take a glance at the charts to make sense of this crazy market, even though right now it's a bit boring the past couple of days. But we're gonna dive into it anyways. And besides that, we have a packed agenda, including some guests. We have 2 guests today that I'm gonna pull up on stage later during the Solid Talk. They're gonna appear probably 15 to 30 minutes in. So we're gonna say hi to these gentlemen as well. And we're gonna touch on some further Solana ID topics because we do have, as always, perks in progress. Pip, we're gonna talk a little bit about some perk updates. We have some things cooking for next week, and we'll give you a sneak preview of that. I want to talk a little bit about the display network as it is today and the future plans with it and where we're going. We do have some internal discussions regarding broader strategy of Solana ID, especially product strategy, and we're gonna just take you with us discussing these things. So I'm gonna just run some things by Benny and you all listen to it because that is essentially what Solid Talks are about, and that is also what I wanted to do in this intro a little bit, Benny. I wanted to talk a little bit before we get started with anything. I want to have kind of a moment to appreciate 60 weeks of Solid Talks, but also talk a little bit about what is this? What is Solid Talk? What is this show? Why do we do it? What is it supposed to be? Where can it go? What are some directions we can go with it for the future? So a very blue ocean kind of just discussion of going forward with Solid Talk and a reflection of what we've been doing so far. So before I do, GM everyone that just joined here. We have 300 people in the live stream. We have Alden here. We have Dama Reza. We have Foodle here as well. We have Pierre 1964. I feel like I know all these people already by now because you've been here for almost 60 weeks, guys. Cyber Brother has been here for much more than 60 weeks. Le Sicilian is here in the house as well. Jacqueline Ann Childs. Ooh, GM. Ooh. Good to have you. We have Chris sent some army here. I'm the only one. You're on YouTube, bro. We got to get our YouTube game up. We don't have a trillion subscribers yet, but we're working on it. So if you're watching right now on Twitter, why don't you head over to YouTube, type in Solana ID and follow and subscribe our account because we're actually posting the live streams on YouTube in a polished version as well as some shorts here and there. So makes sense to subscribe there as well. We have iolos.base.eth GM. CG is in the house as always, 1000 Oos and Onkan. Guys, thank you so much for showing up. Drop a GM if I haven't seen you yet in the comment section. Benny, I don't know what was the first Solid Talk that you ever joined. Do you recall approximately the number of the first? I don't even know. Was it like Solid Talk 2010?
I was gonna say it was like 20s or the 20s, maybe early 30s, but I think it was 20s.
Yeah, I think it was
definitely early on.
Mm-hmm. Because we started doing these obviously like a bit more than a year ago, so it was like September, October-ish last year. Mm-hmm. And then Benny jumped into Solana ID. Now it feels like he's fucking co-founder of this thing, but he actually joined like almost a year after we did the full rebranding to Solana ID. It was like December, January-ish. So I guess it was like 2010 when you joined. And since then, Benny, how would you describe what Solid Talk really is? From an outsider perspective, someone that came in a little bit later. What are we doing here? There's no right or wrong. I just want to give the audience, some of our views. How do we see this thing? And I'd like to hear what you think about Solid Talk and what it is. And then I'll give you the backstory, how it started and what I wanted it to be. And then we can brainstorm a little bit real quick as well, what the future could look like for Solid Talk. And guys, you can drop something in the comment section as well if you feel like you have something to say regarding where these streams can go. Because I'm actually thinking this can be big, like we have thousands of people in these live streams every single Saturday. We can do some fun stuff with it, right? So I have some ideas, as always. I have some special projects I'm working on in my head. So we can touch on that, but drop in the comments what you think Solid Talk could be as well, some creative new ideas for the future. But Benny, how do you see this thing? What is it?
Yeah, when I joined the team, I was honestly pretty surprised. Like, there's, first of all, not many communities out there that are as consistent. They have a show that they host every week. And I knew even in the early days, you and Pierre were very passionate about it, right? Like, I think we were in Bali and it was like 11 p.m. and there was no question that there was going to be a Solid Talk. There never is, right? It's just like there it is. It's Saturday. It's 3 p.m. UTC. There's going to be a live stream. The community needs to know what's going on. And that was great to see. And especially the amount of community participation was super impressive. I tell this to everyone, like, it shocked me when I joined the first Solid Talk, and I think there were like 4 to 5K viewers. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I wasn't familiar with Solid Talk before I joined the team. And little did I know that you guys had such like a lively, active community. Monkey Down, Monkey Monday spaces. Sometimes, there's some months we struggle to get 50, 60 viewers. And every time we host a live stream here, it's always a few thousand. SDN launch, we broke 25K, like just insane numbers. But I think what is most important is the topics, right? Is focusing on updating the community with what's going on, making sure you have that constant transparency, and also being front and center. If there are any concerns, if there are any issues, being able to be right there with the community, answer any questions that there are. We see a lot of protocols, a lot of drama going on Twitter right now. And no, there's not many teams that are willing to really just go head first into it. And that was something I thought was very notable when I joined.
Yeah. I mean, we can count on one hand companies that are doing this successfully, right? And I think you're totally spot on. We've been pretty early with this. We kind of, like, live streams are really picking up these days, right? Like, everyone starts to stream. It's like live streams today are like what podcasts were 10 years ago, I feel like. Everyone started a podcast, and now, well, I'm running 2 live streams in 1 podcast, so I'm the master hipster here. But we kind of started early as well. Like, we didn't jump on a train. We actually started a bit, we front ran the whole streaming kind of trend a little bit. And then I think I remember very vividly one of the first Discord Solid Talks that we ever did. I was roaming the streets of Seoul, whatever, in South Korea last year. And it was like 12 a.m. or some shit, right? It's like pretty late there when we do Solid Talks. So I was just walking around with my phone in my hand outside, because Pierre was inside. We couldn't be in the same room. Live streaming was a bit difficult, so I went outside on my phone. I was roaming the streets at 12 a.m. Talking to the community. And I remember that very vividly back then, because back then I kind of mentally laid the groundwork, or the groundwork for what I want Solid Talk to be. And back then, I think in a single sentence, it was, Solid Talk shall be some sort of a shareholder meeting of Solidity Protocol, but ICM style. Everyone can join. Everyone is invited. You don't need to be. Everyone can be a shareholder, right? We have a publicly listed token, but full transparency mode. Live stream, digital shareholder meeting for everyone who wants to join. We're letting down the guards. We're letting down the curtains, and we're inviting everyone in to listen to what's going on. The keyword was transparency. I wanted to be as transparent as possible with the community when it comes to fundraising, to KOL onboardings, KOL deals, token plans. It was pre-TGE. We had a lot of shit going on back then related to the token. And I wanted to be as transparent as possible to do as fair launch as possible as utility project. So that was kind of the vision. Now, moving on to what could this be? I think we're far beyond a shareholder meeting right now, because this is getting too big. We have a great platform. We have a lot of distribution. We can talk about more things than just, behind the curtain Solana ID. So I want to think a little bit more in this direction. I want to be entertaining, informative, and I want to get people here in a group, the community, to do at least two things, which is A, have a good time together, have some fun, and do funny things. That's one thing. Just enjoy being here. It is entertainment. At the end of the day, you could do something fucking useful with your time on a Saturday. No, you're deciding to join Solid Talks. You might as well have a good time, right? The opportunity cost is high on a Saturday afternoon, evening, morning, whatever the fuck it is. Now, secondly, I don't want it to be only entertaining. I also want it to be value adding, right, to you guys. So there needs to be some sort of value add. We pull in guests. We give the spotlight on guests. We talk about some interesting topics. We deliver some value, right? Kind of podcast show style as well, right? And while we do these two things, I always want to have Solana ID front and center, obviously, because at the end of the day, it's Solid Talk. So we need to talk about topics that are, broadly speaking, Solana ID related. And that is a very broad range, right? Essentially, it's crypto, Solana, politics, whatever the fuck. Everything that impacts our business can be in that bucket. Now, I have a very interesting idea for how future could look like for Solid Talks. We talked a little bit internally about this. But I'm starting to draw the picture and add a little bit of color here and there. Back then, it was just a blurry canvas, right? I think there's a place for these streams on a streaming platform like PumpFun, right? And I know I'm going to get canceled from a few people now when saying that, because you can think about Pump whatever you want, but the base idea of PumpFun is you do content, you get people together in a room, and you have, how do you call it? You have a live asset that you can use to do some fun things with, right? The money you create from creator fees and so on. And I have some ideas around that. So I think there's a way to do Solid Talks on PumpFun. And very important here, very important. Obviously, there's going to be a token associated with that. And Luis is totally spot on. There's only one official token of Solana ID, which is Solid, and it starts with Solid in the CA. And that's our baby. That's the company value. The live stream and the Solid Pump, that might be the ticker. The Solid Pump is not at all front and center when it comes to value accrual. It is exactly what PumpFun is supposed to be. Bullshit, fun, and no fucking value. Okay, so this thing is going to be completely fair launch, 100%, no team allocation, what the fuck, like everything completely fair. And what we can do with it is interesting things. At the end of the day, bottom line is all creator fees generated from Solid Pump go into a special wallet that is publicly announced. And that wallet is part of the Solid Soil program, and it does Solid buybacks every single month, right? So basically, we're using at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're using this platform, we're using Solid Talk to not only create content and be informative and entertaining, we're also trying to create value with a live token that is, that is basically center of this show, only this show, nothing else, only this show. And we can display, we can advertise some things here on the Solid Talks as well. We can talk about some other companies here and there. And they can buy and burn our token, the Solid Pump token, to get placements on the Solid Talks, right? If you're not a perk partner of us, if you're not in the Display network, that's the only way you can buy yourself into Solid Talk, by buying Solid Pump and burning the token. This is one utility, what the fuck, of that thing. Again, all money that would be made from creator fees go 100% back to Solid as buybacks. I think it's an interesting concept. Again, it's purely in my head right now. There's no guarantee there won't be Solid Pump today. There won't be Solid Pump next week. If you see any token with that ticker, it's not affiliated with Solana ID. There's only one Solana ID token. It's Solid. It starts with Solid in the CA. With that being said, Benny, stupid idea, or is there anything we can extract from that idea?
Oh, we've talked a little bit about it. I think the pumped up fun streams is the concept alone is fascinating because you've seen it with Twitch, with Kick, a lot of these streaming platforms, and there's a lot of these creators. I can think of like Kai Cenat and Ninja, right? These are like world known names around everywhere. Even if you're not into gaming, you probably are familiar or have heard of those names in some way. But they have viewers that were there day one, right? There were those first 10, those first 100 viewers, and they were there day one, supporting them, getting loud, active in their chat. And in return, as a reward for being that OG participant, they maybe get mod status, or maybe they have like a special badge in the chat, which is cool. You know, it's a notification. But what Pump Fun streams do, and what, you know, internet capital markets, these new markets that are being created, do is allow for users, allow for viewers to have a stake in the success of a streamer, of a company, of a personality, whatever it may be. And the Solid Talk's a great example, right? We're on the 60th show, but there's a lot of people that have been here since the first or second show. And that is, you know, if they had bought the token back then, if there was some type of correlated value there, then they would obviously be feeling pretty good at this point. So I think being able to invest in essentially the future or the success of a brand, of a personality, of a you know, content like this is a very fascinating idea. Definitely potential there. Is it figured out? Is there a best way to do it? I don't think so. I think everyone is still kind of in this exploratory phase, but the idea of it, there's potential. There's potential for sure.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Again, this will at no moment eat away from Solid. Opposite, I would only consider doing it if there's a clear value add to Solid the token, because that is the value creating asset of the brand Solana ID, the company Solana ID, and everything around it, right? So it is just an instrument to monetize our reach and traffic and everything we do here, because we do put a lot of effort in these shows, right, in Solid Talks. And I think we can do more when it comes to yielding on the effort that we're putting in, right? We can do more. And there's a few directions. This is one of them. I have at least 2 others in my head, but I won't say them now because it's already 20 minutes in, and we do have 2 guests today that we need to pull up at some point. We have 1 guest already here backstage right now, and the other one is going to join in around 10 minutes. So I think we should start. And guys, I will do TA and fucking Solana talk right after, or maybe even during that. So we're going to talk about salt price and all that shit as always. But before we do, let's bring up Omi to the stage. Omi, are you ready? Yes, he's ready. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Very good. Yes, very good.
Perfect.
How
I
are
was
you,
a
man?
bit worried because I couldn't figure out how to get my AirPods on. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Good to have you
Doing
here.
well.
First time on Solid Talk.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't met yet in person, Simon. I think
We have not.
I saw you briefly at the Monkey DAO event in Singapore, but you were very busy and popular.
We didn't
Benny
even,
knows
we
this.
didn't
I was with Benny.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for
Yeah.
having me on the show, man.
I mean, bit of background. Omi is leading Kaizen.io, and I've been on the the Twitter space a few times already. You're doing the State of Solana quite frequently. Is it a weekly show, Omi?
The state of Solana is monthly. So we have 7 different topics, and each one of them is monthly. Yeah, but obviously now leading to our launch, we have to scale down a little bit to focus on the launch here.
That makes sense. All right. So we've been a few times there on the show. We've been talking a little bit with Kaizen as well, if there's any other things we can do. Maybe there are things we can cook together in the future as well when it comes to actually products, Solana ID Kaizen.
Yeah.
But for now, I think we're both in the business of onboarding users to Solana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? That's one of the core, if not the main value proposition of Kaizen?
100%. 100%. I think we do it in different ways. But yeah, I think any platform that is trying their best to onboard the normies into the crypto or Solana, I think good job.
And then, but how the fuck do we do it? That's what I like. We have a short segment today where we talk to Omi. By the way, I can also. Why do we not have names here in this studio? Let me.
I do want to jump in and just kind of quick intro. Yeah. Omi Omai, he's been around for a long time. He's a Build with Monkey DAO grantee. Kaizen has been building in the back for quite a bit now, And they have some new tools that just came out. They have an upcoming NFT collection. But I know with these big announcements coming up, I felt like it just made sense, especially as you said, Simon, we've been on their their spaces many times before. But I think Omi has done a fantastic job at not only onboarding new users, but really bringing together the existing Solana community as well. He's been here through the bear market, through the ups and downs, and being able to really kind of bring a lot of these projects and communities together is it's something special. So I'm super excited to hear about what you guys are where you currently are at and what's coming up.
Thanks, Benny. That's very kind. Yeah, this past, we've been building Kaizens for 3.5 years. We were originally Digital Eyes, the first open NFT marketplace on Solana. Back then, I was part of the founding team, but I took over in early 2022. And when I did, I kind of told the team that, look, I think trading and NFTs, there are enough marketplaces, enough trading tools, enough analytics dashboards on those things. What I feel is the two biggest issues, and still today, I still think the two biggest issues are onboarding and education, right? And it's just been getting tougher and tougher, right? The learning curve keeps getting steeper and steeper. So we obviously started looking at NFT, guides and analytics and all that stuff first. But towards the end of last year, we actually broadened up to every vertical on Solana. So now we have tokens, DeFi, DPIT, airdrops, bounties, quests. We completely changed the way that we approach onboarding because we figured out that looking back on whatever we've done and the traction we've gone and the feedback we've gained, we think that if we rely on two assumptions, we will do a much better job. Assumption number one is that, unfortunately, everyone is here to make money, right? And number two is that people are incentivized and motivated to learn about something and explore something if there was a chance to make money. So we pivoted away from just being like, oh, an academy, to being like, here, we are an opportunity explorer, right? You can see every way to make money on Solana, whether it's any vertical that you're interested in. So we've been doing a lot of the data aggregation for the past half a year. And then this past 2 months, we have been aggressively trying to create different products and tools to come distribute them out. So, we launched a Solana Pulse, which is an all-in-one newsletter on Solana's opportunities. So all the opportunities across all verticals are in one single newsletter sent every day. We created a Telegram bot where you can, in your own convenience, basically send commands and get whatever information that you want in any vertical. You can ask questions that's powered by our Kaizen Academy as well. So we've actually gone beyond our platform because we figured it's really tough to bring everyone to our platform, but we can actually disseminate this information, based on their use case and based on the user's preference. So we've been busy.
Hell yeah. I think the thing is, when it comes to onboarding, right, is one of these topics. What do you, before I say what I think, what do you think, Omi, is the best onboarding we can do? Like, what's the best practice of onboarding? What do we need to do exactly to onboard people to Solana? If you have to pick one thing.
I think it really depends on what you mean by best. I think if you mean the most effective, it's incentivization, right? It's like airdrop campaigns. It's about like, sign up for this crypto card or this crypto account. These have obviously been the most effective because, as I said, everyone is motivated by money. But I guess the question here is, how do you judge the quality of the onboarding, right? Because is it set up for an account and then hands-off, figure out on your own? A lot of people, for example, back early in this cycle were saying that meme coins have been the best way of onboarding people since crypto started. And again, what is the quality of onboarding here? Because these newcomers are coming to the space, hearing about all these 100x, generational wealth making trades, and they're going up PvP against all these seasoned traders and influencers, and getting a very bad taste in the mouth. So if you're saying best, I do think the most effective is to incentivize people. Although number one, either you are exchange with a huge treasury, right? Or number two, as a smaller protocol, like how sustainable really is it? Like, are you converting these new users to actual revenue generated for your protocol? And on that note, I'm not sure, other than their wallets and exchanges, like how many are actually good on that front. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm even taking a step back from that, even more first principle thinking. What is good onboarding? Not just for for anything. How the fuck did we onboard people to the internet? at some point in life, not in our life, but at some point in life, it was kind of a new concept, right? People were fucking writing letters and shit with like pens, and I don't even, you know. So that changed, right? So how the fuck did they onboard people to the internet? In one single thing, they just fucking solved problems of people that they couldn't solve anywhere else, right? So
Yeah.
writing a letter and, you know, mailing it and posting it somewhere takes a lot of time. It's like, you know, is very, very inefficient. Now with email or some shit like that, it solved a really good problem. Like I just type some text, I press a button, and then the whole world, I can send information in the speed of light, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Not light, but I can send information quicker than if I can post letter. So I think that's what we need to focus on. Again, it's one step back, right? You're talking about incentivization. It's like, what practice can I do as a company on Solana to attract users? Totally right. Incentives are a key point. But if you're not solving the problem, actually, and you're just giving out incentives, is not sustainable at all. You're going to die. So I think the best onboarding we can do, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, and if you agree on it, is just solve more problems in this world. And that is also where you can see which apps on Solana are actually long-term efficient and successful, because they do solve a problem. And the problem can have a lot of flavors, right? But does it make sense?
It does. It 100% makes sense, and I 100% agree with you that problem solving is definitely the no-brainer when it comes to like trying to explain to someone, you know, why you should consider crypto. Unfortunately, though, going back to Best, right? It hasn't been very effective. I think most founders of protocols that have been, you know, trying to promote and saying why our way is better and more efficient or cheaper or faster. I think most of them would share that people don't care, because people have come to accept that level of incompetence, right? Or that situation, right? That, you know, I don't really like, I hear a lot of scams on crypto, I hear a lot of hacks, I hear a lot of, you know, safety issues. Like, I'm okay. I'll pay that fee. I'll bear with that, you know, T+2 settlement, blah blah blah. You know, so it's a no-brainer, I think, to founders and to developers and to all the builders, right? It does make sense. We are trying to solve problems, but I think for the past 4-5 years of building, people don't really like, you know, unfortunately, they don't really. They do care, but it's not really enough to push them into like, okay, I'm going to set up my wallet right now, and, you know, because this solves this specific pain point. Yeah, it's sad, but I think realistically, that's how it is. Yeah.
It's such an interesting topic. We should talk about it on your next Twitter space as well, because there's so much to unpack that, and I definitely don't have the time today to dive into everything. But just take a look at what is finding adoption in crypto, like what things, keyword stablecoins, for example, right? What does it do? Enables frictionless payments, cross-border, low fees, speed of light, whatever. And where, right? The quickest adoption you find in places where it actually solves the existing problem, like Argentina, like Africa, like, you know, the places where they do not have access to good banking services, or they have an unstable currency and so on. There, we're actually solving a problem with crypto. These people come from themselves. We don't need to give them a fucking airdrop to use stablecoin payments, because they'll use it because it's better than whatever the fuck they have in their country, right? That's how we do onboarding, by solving weird problems. And I think we're closer than ever today to actually getting there. I think you guys agree. And yet this space is quite complex. So I think tools and projects like Kaizen are super important, because they are inviting people with open arms and friendly faces into this ecosystem, instead of some other things we also experienced in crypto, where, you know, we lose people again because they don't know what the fuck is going on. So I definitely recommend people to also check out the Kaizen platform on Kaizen.io. Kaizen is written like that. Thanks, Cyber. Welcome, Kaizen. And yeah, people can, you know, find all kinds of educational content, and also like real life updates of, you know, what is the latest content that has been posted on various channels. I saw that you guys even feature Soul Brothers. Thanks for that, in your feed. So you can, it's just a really good single source of truth when it comes to all things Solana. Now, we do have to move on soon to the next one. Benny, do you have one more thing?
Yeah. Well, I want to pass it off to Omi, because he has a big NFT collection coming up. He just released a new tool, so I want to give him some time to kind of give the audience a little bit of insight there.
Perfect. Okay, yes. So we do actually have an NFT project coming next Thursday on Magic Eden, 30th of October. It's interesting because for the last 4 years, I've always wanted to run my own collection. So I actually was part of the original team on Solarians, the first on-chain NFT collection on Solana. But I joined the team pretty late, and I actually became a community manager and subsequently led the CTO of the project together with Digital Eyes back in 2022. And until now, I've always been like, like when I see all my peers and like how the NFTs have changed and stuff like that, like I've always wanted to launch my own NFTs, but there was never a right time until late last year when we started to finally complete the base layer of all the data and information that we're collecting, and started working on like advanced tools that we were like, okay, you know what, like everything on the platform is free, right? All the tools, all the dashboards and stuff like that. But there are some tools that are so intense and advanced and expensive that we can't just open it up for scale for everyone to use, right? Like this it's not feasible for us. So internal discussion happened, and we were like, okay, how about we gated it, right? And maybe with like a nice NFT community, something small, like 3,000, 4,000 NFTs, where we can at least, definitely provide a high level of service for these tools, and also hopefully build a community that can get behind our vision to provide the best-in-class data analytics and education on Solana. And so that idea started towards the end of last year, and we've been taking our time, working on the art, working on the utility, and though I think anyone who checks out kaizenworld.io, which shows you everything about the NFTs, I think you enjoy the utility part. If you are a Solana Power user, like I think it covers all the grounds. Like if you're a Solana Power user, I think it is the most useful NFT that you could get, right? So we look at utility in 3 ways. The first one is obviously alpha, right? How do you get alpha? How do you get it to you? Second one is your portfolio, right? How do we create unique tools that help, number one, track your portfolio, update you on your portfolio, send you risk alerts, right, to protect your bags, and also suggest recommendations on how to improve your portfolio, right? And then the last one obviously is community perks, which I won't go into detail here. But I think what you see is a very holistic suite of tools. Yeah. And these are not tools that we're coming out, out of nowhere and just like spitballing and stuff like that. So a bit about myself, I spent 8 years in banking and investment research industries. So things about portfolio, alpha sourcing, investment research, portfolio management, these are I wouldn't say I'm experts on them, but definitely up my alley. And that's kind of like how I think about a Solana Power user, especially one that's very involved in trading, involved in DeFi generation. These are tools that you probably don't even feel that you need, but when you have it, it'll be very, very useful for you. Yeah. So this is what we actually have in store, and glad to share that most of these are already done. There are quite a few chunky ones that will come obviously post-launch, but one huge tool that we actually released earlier this week actually was the Solana Bullish Bearish Index. So this one, the short-term version will be free for everyone to use because we think that everyone can benefit from it. But the medium term, the long term, and in future other features on that tool will all be for NFT holders. And yeah, we're really excited. The Solana Bullish Bearish Index was basically something they worked on for a long time. Basically, we wanted to create a single one-pager where you can see the whole state of Solana in one glance, right, in real time. Right? Whether you're looking at the trading momentum, whether you're looking at on-chain analytics like DeFi TVL or DEX volumes or NFT volumes, or things like staking inflows or Nasdaq performance correlation, or like liquidation long-short ratios or social sentiment scores, like literally one pager with 25 different metrics, just to show you like when we say we're bullish about Solana, is that backed by data? Can you actually quantify that? And now we have. So check that out. Regarding the NFTs, we are pricing it at 0.39 SOL, which we think is very fair. At 3737 supply, we had a lot of fun with the numbers. So 3737 in because Kaizen's Japanese name, right? 3737 is a wordplay, and the Japanese would say 3737 as mina mina, which directly translates to everybody. Which means like community. So we thought that was a very apt number. And then 39 in Japanese is sankyu, which you always use as thank you. So it's like, thank you for minting. So a little bit of fun facts there. But yeah, I think I've gone on for quite a while. So Kenny, back to you. Thanks.
No, that's fantastic, and it makes sense for you to want to, have a collection of your own. As you mentioned, you've been working on the Solarians. You've been in the space for a super long time, and with all of your experience and especially the data analysis and the tooling, it just kind of makes sense to bring in those true believers and give that kind of higher level access. So you mentioned the mint was this upcoming Thursday on Magic Eden, right?
Yeah, really excited
Awesome.
for it. Yeah, we are our whitelist is more than twice oversubscribed already. For the unguaranteed phase. But right now the guaranteed phase, the OG spots, you can still register for it, like on our kaizenworld.io. You can register for it and get a guaranteed spot. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing with us. I wanted to make sure that you had a chance to come up here and share with the community. Omi's been around, like I said, for a long, long time. He's an OG in the space, definitely super active in not only Monkey DAO community, but other communities. So super excited to see the mint and recommend people to check out Kaizen.io.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Benny. Thanks, Simon.
Good stuff. Of course. Omi, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to send you backstage again. You can hang out here. You can listen to the live stream. You can do whatever you want. But thank you for coming on today. We're going to hear and see more of you in the future. And I'll look forward to the next space with you.
Thanks,
See
guys.
you,
Take
Omi.
care.
You too. Bye, brother. Alrighty. Guys, moving on. We do have another guest who's eagerly waiting backstage. But before we pull you up, Wiz, you can make sure, practice your smile, put your makeup on, get ready back there. Before we pull you up, we're going to do a little giveaway. So let me just get Omi from here. Wait, yep. And we gonna do a little giveaway. Guys, you know how the giveaways go. If you are right now listening live to this stream, then put your pause on the keyboard, as my friend Solquix would say, and get ready to type in the secret word that we're gonna display now in a second, because you need to comment the word in the next 60 seconds. Each person has one comment, and we will pick a random comment from the whole section after this 1 minute is over, and you will get 1,500 solid for being solid and participating in the giveaway. All you have to do is put get solid in the comment section right now. You have 60 seconds. Get solid in the comment section. Make sure to retweet the live stream. That is a must. And follow Solana on X, because who are you if you don't? Make sure you follow Solana on X. Make sure to retweet the live stream and give us a get solid in the comment section. We will scroll through the comments after the time is up, and we're going to pick one lucky winner. Get solid in the comment section. Also, Mighty Max reposted the stream. Max, my man, appreciate you showing up as always. Thank you so much for repost. Wiz is saying, everyone going for first time want to cause 6 key views or a friend 10 before is a joke. Thank you so much, Wiz. We're going to pull you up in a bit. He's actually backstage right now, getting ready to talk to us. Drip is saying 60 looking solid. It definitely does. Guys, you have a few more seconds. I'm going to give you 10 seconds extra to put your get solid ticket in the comment section. Make sure to be solid, guys. Get solid in the comments. Fiber, bro, you're disqualified. You have a few D's too much. You need to chip in another ticket here. Okay, guys, the time is up. We're gonna do a lucky draw. I do not have my lucky fairy with me, Benny. So we need to see what we do now. Let me pull up the live stream on X and see if I can access the comment section, because it is a bit more accurate on X than here on StreamYard. So guys, use the extra time you have right now to put in get solid in the comment section. Retweet the live stream for us on X, and I will make sure to. Nope, I don't want to see that. I want to go into the stream. Do I see the comments? I do not. I do. Okay. So Benny, I need you to give me a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then I need you to say stop at some point. And wherever my cursor lands at that stop, that will be the winner of today's live stream. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready? All right. 3, 2, 1, go. And stop.
Oh, we have a friend who won, a special friend who's been around for a long time, and he resides in the beautiful country of Greece, and he goes by the name of Yanis. Yanis, my man, I think it's not the first time, and it's probably not the last time, but congrats, big W for Yanis, who's actually rocking a really cool PFP, if I see that correctly. That is really dope. I don't know where you got, I don't know which one that is actually. What is that, Yanis? Give us some context to your PFP, but you are definitely solid, 1,500 solid for Yanis. just drop us your ID again to CyberRudder or the public account, the main account of Silent Entity. And then we make sure to sort your win out. Big W and congrats to Giannis for his win. Good job, man. And thanks everyone else for participating. And now, without further ado, and I still have to do my TA, maybe I'll do it together with Wiz. But without further ado, let's pull up our next guests. Wiz on stage. How's it going, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, loud and clear. Loud and clear. Thank you for jumping on, Wiz. It's great to have you here. Are you right now in the same country as I am, or are you somewhere else in the world?
I wish. Are you in Spain?
Oh, I'm not in Spain, no. What are you doing in Spain?
Yeah, I moved to Spain for a bit, man. Honestly, mainly due to the cold weather throughout the winter time in Bulgaria, but it's pretty good.
Excuse me, sir. It's too cold in your home country. Well, I'm here, so if you ever decide to come back, let me know. Even though I'm not here for a long time, but as you know, I am returning to Bulgaria quite frequently. Now, in Spain, that is interesting. Anyway, we have Wiz on the show today. Wiz also meet Benny. I think you guys have not met before. Benny leading growth at Solana ID. And Wiz, you are a wizard when it comes to media design and visuals, but also brand building, I believe, and everything around it. Because what you're essentially doing with WizArt is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you're helping other projects to look the best on their front ends, let's say, whatever they post, whatever they say, whatever they do, you help them that they have the right visuals, the right graphics, and that you basically build a brand that has a little bit of personality, I would say, which is really difficult. Honestly, it's a really difficult task. Is that what WizArt is doing, or would you explain WizArt Studios differently? And if yes, then please add on my try here.
I got you, brother. Yeah, so Wizard is pretty much a creative studio. We're at the point, thankfully, where there's nothing that we can't produce, as long as it's related to the creative industry, whether we got filming a Coinbase commercial, UI, UX, branding, illustrations, animations, both 2D and 3D. And it wasn't always like that. Like, we started in 2022 as a complete joke. Like, genuinely, there was a fan art competition. We reached out to some friends and ended up winning it. Word spread around. Do a fan art here, do a fan art there. And then one day, bang, can you do an NFT collection? I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, of course we can. These guys quit their job. For all I know now, I have people that are reliant on me, and the rest is history. Thankfully, we got blessed, and throughout this day, we have 15 designers working for us full time, and we're trying our best. In terms of, are we only a creative studio? If you do services for too long in any game, you're going to realize that it gets a bit, too much of a pressure. And sometimes you want to get into product, sometimes you don't. And now we're at the point where I can confidently say that we are looking to get into products. So if any one of the current viewers is watching this and it's like, hey, I'm looking for co-founders, we would be down to have a conversation and support and launch something interesting together. Not a token.
What do you have against tokens, bro? Tokens are great. Anyway, you want to build a product. That's interesting. I think the last time I saw this was fucking Mert posting the same shit. He was like, "Oh, Helios is great. We do RPC, we do infra, but we have some ideas. We wanna do cool shit, and there's things to build in crypto that are not there yet. So we're hiring." Literally what he posted. And I was like, "That's interesting." Is that a little bit what you guys are doing? You have your own company, you have your established business, but you are open now to actually build a product in crypto. Do you see a niche somewhere where you would like to? Do you have like ideas, or are you just scouting for possible ideas as well?
Scouting, but also there are a couple of stuff that I personally need, per se. We iterate a lot. We try a lot of new ecosystems and products out a lot. We have 20,000 wallets somewhere with money in, money out, lost, made, doesn't matter. I need an extension, man, that just tells me, hey, you're missing your money here, or you made money here, or now that you're doing this trade, it's super stupid because 9 out of 10 times that you're doing this, you're straight up losing cash. So why are you doing this? Kind of like, a non-device analyzer of what is happening throughout your stuff. In my opinion, is something where all of these wallets and exchanges could come, build it, and take over the rest of the crowd. Because that in specific on the trading side, everyone is kind of competing to get the 1% better than the other product that's already existing, which is fine until it happens with 300 more, you know? And we're at the stage where we're kind of having already 200 or 300 DEXs, trading platforms. So I do this, I do that, but I'm different. Well, not necessarily, at least not for the really regular users, you know? And that's something which, in my opinion, could fix it and potentially be used to launch such a platform for someone else. But that's something I'm looking forward to. So if someone wants to build it, the answer wide open. We can take care of everything on your design related part.
I love that. So it kind of sounds like the product that you're mentioning is almost like an asset tracker across chain, because I've had that same problem where maybe I open an LST position or I'm like a farming position, whatever, maybe on STX, on thinking of other chains, I'm blanking on them, but there's kind of like a big airdropping season that was going on, and I pretty much spread out my funds across like 4 or 5 different chains. And even to this day, like there's sometimes where I'll be like, oh, I totally forgot that I had money locked up there, and I need to like go back and find my wallets. It's a mess. So having something that's a little bit more centralized, I can see an extension that has everything laid out would be incredible. I'd love that.
Yeah, and the add-on to that, Ben, is while you are farming, you 100% lost some money somewhere. And it's a trend. It's always a trend. We do the same stuff over and over again. It's just a habit. Oh, one day I did this and somehow I made 10K. Maybe. Now that's not the case. So if it's actually tracking what on-chain transactions you're trying to do as well, so it's kind of like a browser extension, it could tell you, Benny, why do you want to lose money again? 9 out of 10 times that you've tried to farm an airdrop in this way, you've only lost cash.
Yeah, I would love that. I need that because boy, oh boy, am I just a dumpster fire in some of these wallets, let me tell you.
Man, I do agree. I mean, everyone needs it, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I'm bullish on people who are going out there and just building shit because they feel like they need it. Like if you have a problem, then and no one is solving it, then solve it. Like what? It's not easy. Easier said than done. But at least you're open for it, so that's good to know. Another thing I wanted to run by you is like really brand building and design, right? When it comes to these topics, which you guys are really good at, and it is something that is top of mind for Solana ID all the time. You've been following us a little bit. You see what we do. We do, have our little Solidian hero, our mascot that's in the Twitter banner and in every NFT that we post. We do have like a lot of lore around Solana ID, and we just recently, that is also something I wanted to touch on today. We posted an animated comic that is that came out of our production house, and that is something that not every brand is doing that. Like especially, it's not our core product to fucking make videos, but we're doing it anyways, right? And I wanted to use the moment right now. I'll share the comic real quick for people who don't know it yet. So we're gonna look at the first EP, 30 seconds, and I want to get your take on basically everything we're doing from your perspective as someone that is that works with a lot of customers. And I want you to tell me, just give us as a community, give the Solana ID community and the founders and everyone who works here, give us some feedback from someone who's really good at design and brand building and so on what we could do better to establish Solana ID as a well-known brand. We are already, but it can always be better. So let me first get rid of this one. Let me add.
Lost him.
Was here.
This is Simon's way of getting free advisory services. He brings you up on Solid Talk and he says, "Oh, just for the community, let us know how we can be better."
You got it, bro. Let's take a look at what we posted the other day. We posted the first EP of the Solidian Origins comic. There was a comic we brought as an NFT last year. So it's actually a proper comic that was mintable as NFT, and some people have it in their wallets. And you can even get the PDFs of the comic. We did it through D-Reader, which is unfortunately not with us anymore. They rebranded to Fundle. But anyway, let's check it out.
A new DAO vote is up. Who will become the new Solana Super Maxi? This could be my shot. Whoa! What just happened?
Let's find the next Solana Super Maxi.
GM, everyone.
This is my chance. If I win this vote, all my hard work will finally pay off.
What's gonna happen next? There's gonna be some issues with the vote. There's gonna be an evil, how do you say? Yeah, someone evil. And there's gonna be Hero that's solving the situation. So I can already preview so far. But that is just one little thing of stuff we do, right, at Solana ID. And it's, again, it's not, like general feedback would be great, but also, is that something you advise customers to do? Because, it costs money, it costs time to do these things. And we have a fucking product to build, right? Like, you could also argue to, like, don't do any fucking media and brand or whatever. Like, just build your product and solve some problems with the tech, like really bluntly speaking. Where's the best practice here? And like, what's your advice how to handle these decisions as a founder?
Whenever I speak to teams, and let's say that they're super early stage, and they go, should I, let's say I have 10K, just as an example. With 10K, I can get my product to look from 7 to 10 out of 10. I can get my marketing from 3 to 5, 6 out of 10. Just as an example. The question is, what type of people do you want to attract to this product? Because with the comic in specific, if you guys were super focused on high-end leverage traders, would this comic be something which, even if every high leverage trader sees, they're going to be like, okay, I want to check these guys out? No. But you don't have high-end leverage traders as your target audience. You're getting to the point where you want to attract as many people that don't know about crypto as possible, right?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, we want to be even the starting point to enter your Solana journey, right? It's always better to start with the Solana ID because you just get better offers throughout the whole ecosystem. So definitely one part of our target audience are people that are entering Solana. But at the end of the day, it's everyone who uses Solana.
Okay, so in my opinion, everyone that uses Solana already knows about you guys, has heard about you. They may not follow you, but they have at least heard about you once because you've been doing this for at least 2 years this far. You have 7,000 live stream viewers right now, and you have a shit ton of impressions, which is amazing. So now, with the comics and with the IP stuff, you can get people that haven't heard about Solana to get interested in Solana ID and then in Solana. In my opinion, focus more on Giphy as a Trojan horse, because this is definitely something that's going to take you at least a year in the best case scenario. Let's look at Luca with Pudgy Penguins. Guy's a legend. Millions of dollars poured into content before there was any ROI, toys, and so on. And this happened over the course of maybe 2 years before they became famous. In my opinion, with the current comics that you guys are doing, you won't catch the attention of the people that already know about you, because most of them, they're either using you already or they would use you because of an incentive. They have checked you out, they know what you're doing. So on the Web2 side, if you want to attract people, building an IP is a good Trojan horse to potentially onboard them, to install any wallet, to check Solana out, walk through a guide, claim some little reward. Kind of like gamify their experience to get there. The comics are good, but if you're posting them only on X, and that is your main channel of distribution, in my opinion, it's better to use these funds and grow on Giphy as the first step. For the people that don't know what Giphy and Tenor is, there are two platforms that allow you to search GIFs whenever you're chatting on Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram, any social platform on there. Whenever you go to the GIF tab, you can search to send whatever GIF, fire, smiley, and whatever. And when you type this, the algorithm searches and shows to the user relevant GIFs that are being sent. That is what Pudgy Penguins used initially to become famous and well known. Because at one point people were like, why am I using these penguins and what are they? And then bang, they saw them on Instagram. And then they followed them. And then the cycle started. But this is a process that takes a lot of time. And we don't have to underestimate that.
Yeah. That's a big lift. Also, it's a different time now. I think it might be already quite saturated, that corner of the internet, with GIFs. Like, it's pretty difficult to break in. That's an assumption. I have no idea. Like it's not. I'm not familiar with
I
that.
can get you to 100 million in less than a month.
Here we go. So, guys, if you need help with getting people through gift strategies, if that's something you don't know about, and chances are you don't, then talk to Wiz. Talk to Wiz at Studios. Cool. Benny, comment, opinions, or remarks?
Yeah, what do you think is like the most common pitfall or maybe just misconception when it comes to brand building or building a personality on Twitter that you see in Web3 Solana specifically?
In Web3 and Twitter, I would say becoming that guy gets you way ahead of everyone. And what do I mean by that guy? If we have a person that goes and decides to be a gardener tomorrow and to be the gardener of Solana, I swear to God, he could have 1,000 followers. He's going to blow up in less than 6 months. Because it's something which stands, it's funny, and people are going to remember it. If you decide, let's say tomorrow, you guys launch something more interesting as a protocol or a separate product, similar to how Meteora did back in the day. Everyone that started using Meteora and started being early on that, within less than a year, they become famous. Look at everyone from the LP army. They're big now. They chose one topic, they became that guy, and they grew. Because if you're trying to get into a niche that's already has a lot of people, your chances of standing out are way lower. And don't get me wrong, I may say these things, but my profile isn't that big. I see some stuff that I'm doing right, I see some stuff that I'm doing wrong. I have an idea. I actually had it yesterday, which I'm going to test out. And maybe this makes me that guy, which is just start to roast any design and brand out there in a super comedical way, even our brand. And maybe that makes us stand out. Who knows? But aiming to become that guy and competing in a content field that doesn't already exist, whether it's on Solana or somewhere else, is your ticket to success, in my opinion, or a short-term ticket to success.
I love that. I love that. Trying to be that guy, but it's more specifically trying to find these early niches like Meteora, the LP Army, I think is a great example. I was not part of the LP Army, but I was in the Discord and I've been using Meteora since 24, at the middle of the year, end of the year. And there's a lot of people that I saw in those Discords. I mean, it was really small, and the LP Army was just like this Discord, essentially chat, and now it's turned into something massive. But if you start roasting designs, I'd love to see you in our comment section. I want to see what you got for us.
Let's see. It's a format that I want to test out, but I want to confirm whether I won't get a lot of backlash towards it.
Oh, you probably will, but that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, who gives a shit, bro? Like, don't. that's the whole point. Like, you want attention, right? Like, there's certainly a lot of negative comments right now on the timeline regarding two specific companies, but at least one of them is profiting from that highly, because it is marketing, right? It's exposure.
I agree.
So anyway, we got to move on. Like, time is fucking running. We're already 1 hour in. We need to distribute our participation NFT that we give to everyone who joins the Solid Talks every single week. So we're going to do that next. With anything you want to leave off with, any direction you want people point to, any call to actions for people. We already know, like, if there's founders or people that want to found something, they can reach out to you. Anything else you want to share, bro?
I do, actually. You're at the gym, right?
Sometimes, not right now, but sometimes.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you want to succeed, you gotta get as jacked as Simon. That's the easiest way to do it.
Hell yeah.
No, appreciate you getting me on, man. I love these shows. I love that you're on week 60 or something. It's insane. Just keep going.
It's been a journey. And it's also only possible because we have guests like you joining sometimes, because otherwise, what the fuck do I yap about all day? I mean, I can. But anyway, it is always good to have some fresh people here as well. So thank you so much for coming on, taking the time on your Saturday. And yeah, we'll send you off into your weekend, Wiz. Thank you so much for joining. Peace out, my man.
Appreciate you, brother. Ciao, ciao.
Awesome. All righty, Benny. Sorry, I had to move. They threw me out of my place in between. But I'm here. Everything is good. We're ready. What are we doing next? I'm lost without my moderator. Usually I ask Pierre what's next.
Without your little fairy, man, you're lost. I know. He's usually guiding the stream.
Exactly. Like I just talk and he tells me what to do. But I know what to do. Let's do the NFT. Okay, let's do the NFT. I think that is definitely a good next step, and I do have it ready to show to the people. So let me just do this one. Wait 1 second. Get rid of this, and I will share this
Just
week's
for the
participation NFT. Go ahead.
for the viewers' information, the conversation in Telegram before this solid talk was a little panicked. Simon didn't know. He said that, Pierre, please, buddy, I need a very specific. What am I doing? How am I distributing this? I need to walk one step at a time. Give me the lay down. What's going on?
Yep, it is. It is definitely obvious that I'm not used to doing the operations of this. But that's literally me. I can be in front of the camera, but I have no idea what the fuck's going on behind it. So I only exist because I know really smart people that help me to survive in this world. So including Benny as well. Like without him, I'd also be fucked. So anyway, without further ado, this is this week's participation NFT, Solid Talk number 60, guys. It's a legendary one, and if you would have been around at Solid Talk 8, you would now have an PFP that you can rock, because Giannis is literally rocking a PFP from Solid Talk number 8. So don't underestimate these NFTs. They might become useful for you in the future, and if it's just as a PFP. So make sure that you claim this one, and I will also let you know how to. First of all, design, pretty good, Benny, right? I think we're happy with this one. I don't know what it is. Superman.
I love the Solidian hero. This, because I know Ionis is. I think I'm pronouncing that right. His PFP is like very anime, right? And when I came on that team, I was like, we need something a little bit cuter, something that we can kind of throw around. And then this guy was born. So I always love the Solid Talks that have him in it.
This guy was born. Here we go. And this is how you do it. I have no fucking idea if it's going to work, but I hope Pierre did the preparation in the back. So let's see. I think it should work. We do have Solid Talk number 60 ready under the following QR code. Just scan the QR code or go to talk.solana.id. You will need a secret word, and today's secret word, ladies and gentlemen, is solid. So all you have to do to get this NFT, and I'll do it together with you guys, you copy paste your wallet ID into the form that you find on talk.solana.id or under the QR code. You go ahead and you are also put in the secret word first of all, which is solid. Add your Solana wallet, and then interact with the tweet. With the latest tweet, we need you to post a reply. What am I replying to here? Content creation on Solana is another level. We're all unique. Producing. There was the comic. Okay, then Solidians on top. That's my comment. Very, very qualified comment. You need to copy paste your reply URL from your comment into the form. You also have to retweet, and you also have to like the post. And if you did all these favors for us, we're going to do a favor for you, and we're going to send you this week's participation NFT straight in your wallet. So just click on submit, and we will have your wallet in our system. And in the next days, latest a week, it will be in your wallet, and you will see this beautiful collectible right in your collectible section in your wallet. Cool. Do you get it, Benny, or you're too good for these?
Yeah, I show up. Like, I'm here, I talk. That's my thing. I'm not a big operations guy, as you said. I'm very similar to you.
And then once these NFTs go through the roof, you're gonna beg Pierre for, please send me one. I forgot to submit the form.
Well, hopefully, if the
work,
NFTs are going through the roof, so is the token.
Okay, then yeah, you might benefit. You might benefit from that. What's the saying? Man is bigger than Mariner Far without having to use bot. It's true. We do get a lot of views in these live streams. One thing to keep in mind, to be totally transparent, if you have 11,000 views on a live stream on X, like no one really, like we're one of the few that actually gets it done. But also keep in mind, the view doesn't mean these people are all live with us right now. On Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, it's enough to look at the stream for a while and then opt out again, and it will count as a view. Because these views don't go down, they only go up, which is an amazing asset. So keep that in mind, guys. It's not active live stream listeners. I have zero ideas, unfortunately, how many people are right now live in the live stream. But I know that at in how to say cumulative, we have a lot of views, which is great. And I compare ourselves to other streams out there, and when I look at my X, then not a lot of people are getting that many views, so that's great. Long story short, we are.
Do you know the history of Mario? Like how he kind of made it big in the space?
It is. I mean, I was on a call with him and shit. Like I have a bit of personal relations with the man, but I kind of stopped interacting with the whole umbrella company because
he used to be in Bored Ape Yacht Club. Like that was his PFD, and he was like an NFT trader, NFT collector. And if I'm remembering this correctly, he got drained. Like his wallet got hacked. I don't know if it was like a hardware issue or if he just connected his wallet, signed the wrong transaction. But essentially lost all of his NFTs and then just like rebranded to his IRL self and then to posting more political based news, and obviously has blown up since then. And it still has that crypto core, but I mean, if you go to his content, he's posting about everything, and I think it's kind of crazy seeing that evolution over the years.
Yeah, he's meeting all these presidents and like he's doing pretty crazy stuff. But also, again, in full transparency, we also have his company on our cap table since very early on, and it was probably one of the worst deal we made with anyone. Like we only have good people on our cap table, but this deal was kind of like we didn't get it because they invite you on the streams and stuff, right? But as Wiz said correctly, it's a lot of noise. Like we didn't really, it was really heavily botted. The comments were like fucking bot armies. And then you ask the guys, you're like, hey guys, why, isn't it supposed to be a bit more organic? Like, why do you use so many bots? Yeah, we're flagging it to the team. They're not doing anything. So it's a bit, full transparency because I don't want other people to fall in the same trap. That's why I openly talk about these things. And I only can talk about the experience I had. I don't know these people personally and so on. Maybe they're good people. But the business deal that we made with Mario Nawfal and the group around it was not really worth the effort and everything.
So Solid Talk's all about transparency.
Yep, I don't give a shit. Like if we do, like I'm not gonna tell you only the good things about everything. But on the bright side of things, again, and I said this many times before, like I love the way we did our token raise because we only have good people on there and a lot of huge investor base. Like before the token even launched, we had more than 1,000 investors because we never did like a private pre-sale. Like all the pre-sales pre-TGE were open, right? They were on Station X, which is kind of similar to Echo back then. And it was like open for everyone. There was a pre-seed round. I opened it for communities. And a lot of these people that invested a year ago are still with us right now. They're listening to the stream and so on. So if you are with us since a year, if you invested pre-TG in us, then thanks for being around and staying solid after all this time. Because I know it is tough sometimes and the market can be harsh. And especially these altcoins, they sometimes stay down for a little bit too long. But on the bright side of things, we're still showing up and we're far away from giving up on Solana ID and anything around it. In the opposite, we do have a lot of shit cooking. And Benny, we haven't even started to talk about company updates. So I don't know what the fuck we've been doing the past hour. But if I'm not mistaken, there's a bit of other shit on the agenda. Where help me? Where do we go from here? Should we
got perks coming up. I don't know how public we want to go with those. That's actually you've been cooking. Oh boy. Simon's been cooking on the back end. He's got some big moves going on.
Okay, calm down. So,
they're pretty big. They're pretty big, brother.
It's my job. I'm just doing my job, okay? And also a lot of these conversations are constantly or they're just taking a long time. So it is like when it works out, it's really good. So I can give a little bit of sneak preview. So shall we do the pip section? Shall we talk a little bit about perks and progress?
Let's do some pips, baby.
Let's do some pips. Okay, then let me throw away this one from the stage and share my screen. And guys, I'll give you a little sneak preview of not only a perk that we're launching next week, probably next week. Don't hold me accountable if it's delayed, but the plan is next week. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of a cool perk that we launch next week, and actually a new user flow, how to claim a perk as well. Because for the first time, we're going to run a campaign in the display network, in the perk frames, that requires unique discount code to be displayed to the user. You can't do that in the frames, and they don't have a landing page for us to do this. So we came up with a solution for that, and we have fully customizable templates now for landing pages that we can offer to our perk partners. So if you're a company on Solana that wants to run a perk campaign with Solana ID, we will craft one of these beautiful pages for you. And you might be able to tell which perk partner is doing this with us if you're very smart. Next week, we're going to launch a perk that will give you access to a free physical cast card if you are in tier 1 or tier 2 and fast enough, because we only have a limited amount of free cards for this first campaign, potentially more after the first campaign. So if the amount of free cards is the limiting factor, then trust in our ability to extend the campaign. But the whole point is Cast is a crypto card on Solana, and I've been personally using them since some time. You know, I always have my little Cast card here with me, and they've been very, very friendly to their user base, in my opinion. They literally picked me up from the airport and drove me to my hotel in Singapore, not because I'm special. No, they offered this to every single Cast card holder, which is insane. But obviously, the core business of Cast is to do stablecoin-powered payments through Apple Pay, Google Pay, or their physical cards. And if you want to get your hands on the physical card, you have to pay $100 for that. Even if you just want the base card, the Solana card, it's $100 for the physical Cast card, not with Solana ID. Because with us, you will get your free physical Solana card from Cast. And the page that I'm showing right now is basically the landing page that will open once you click on claim in the perk frames in our SDN, in the broader display network. Right. So that is kind of the way, because we need to distribute the codes, and we need to explain how the fuck to install the app and how to get the perk, right? And we have space to explain it here. We don't have space for it in the perk frames. Benny, what do you think of the flow? Do you think it makes sense? Primarily, I was working on this. And yeah, so do you think that is like, because I'm thinking this could be a broader theme for some of these campaigns that we're running, to actually have a landing page in between that we build where we can do some cool shit, like display unique code, maybe host traffic.
Yeah. No, I think it solves a huge pain point that we've had in the past, where integration can sometimes be a little difficult, and then we have exclusive coupon codes and the SDN. The way that it's set up, we can't necessarily, very limited information can we go and put in the frames compared to the Solana ID perk page or the Solana ID hub. I think I always get humbled by you and Pierre, because sometimes you guys will, ask me like, oh, how do we get these codes out? And I don't think it's possible, Simon. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then you guys just kind of figure something out and make sure that you have that clean user flow. And the pages look fantastic. I'm super excited to see how it works with Cast, and the perk is really strong. I mean, as you said, Cast has been around for a while. They're very user oriented and have a lot of incentives going. So to have a solid perk like this coming through the SDN is great to see.
But Benny, how do I get the card? How do I get tier 1, tier 2? What can people do to make it into the right tier? There's only really one way or two ways to do it. But
Yeah, anyone in Solana can be tier 1, tier 2, but it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Nearly impossible for tier 1, I would say, to get into that high level top 1%, top 10% of wallets across Solana with just the individual wallet. A little bit of a secret code here. If you go to Solana ID and you connect all of your wallets, it aggregates all of that data together, and that levels you up. It gets you to a higher tier. So that's really the big benefit. That's the big perk of being in Solana ID compared to just another user going through the ecosystem, clicking on perk frames, is that you're going to have better perks. You're going to have access to better discounts, better points boost, better whitelist, early access, whatever it may be, if you have that data connected, if you have that data backpack of all of your aggregated wallets.
Hell yeah. So make sure to go to app.solana.id and mint your Solana ID if you don't have one yet, because this will help you to get your hands on some of these exclusive perks that are reserved for higher tiers, and then connect all your wallets. Like, make sure that you just get all your reputation in your Solana ID account. We're not sharing any data with anyone. Like, no one will know that these wallets belong to you. This is safe in Solana ID protocol. It is not shared with anyone out there. The only thing they will see is that one of these wallets, whenever they query one of these wallets, has the full reputation of your whole wallet account in Solana, which is really cool, right? We can do a lot of fun things with that. But that is the easiest way to get your hands on these perks. Just be active on Solana, like be a power user, because that's what we at the end of the day trying to identify for these partners as well. Cast is giving the free card to tier 1, tier 2 for a reason, because it is a cost for them to give the card for free, right? And they wouldn't spend their money on anyone, on everyone. So with us, they at least have the possibility to target a specific user group that might use the card as well in future as an active user for Cast. And then everyone wins. Thumbs up from Cecilio. Awesome. Cool. Now, there's one more perk that I can touch on, which is a complete new company that I've been talking to this week. Very early discussion, definitely part of the PIP section because it is a perk in progress, but at the beginning of the funnel, first call. Have you heard of Asgard Finance, Benny? Kind of an
I don't think so.
under the
Asgard
radar.
Finance. That sounds pretty new.
It is actually pretty insane. Like, they are a really strong team from what I've observed from the outside. They don't have a lot of Twitter followers, and they haven't done any hard marketing pushes yet. They only have one live product right now, but they're launching the main thing next month in November, which is essentially a spot margin trading platform, which is inherently different from perp trading, because if you do spot trading, you actually control your collateral 100% yourself, and you're trading, or let me put that different, you're trading the actual spot token, and you're not trading any derivatives of the token, which is usually perps. So if you want true DeFi and if you want true ownership, then you would use spot margin trading, which no one is really doing right. Everyone is doing perps trading, so it's kind of a new thing on Solana. And the interesting thing about it is not really how it works, because that is quite technical, and also even the fact that you own the underlying asset and it's not a derivative, maybe you don't care about that, right? Because at the end of the day, you just want to trade and leverage and so on. But what you care about is fees, and fees are much lower for that kind of trading. Sometimes you even have a positive borrowing rate, which is, thumbs up for that, a positive borrowing rate, which is insane. That means you're opening a position, and usually you have a collateral against your position, right? And you have to take debt, right? You take out a loan because that's the leverage part of the whole trade. Now, on that debt, you usually pay every hour, you pay a borrow rate to all these perp dexes. With Asgard Finance, some of these pairs actually have positive borrowing rates, so you get paid. You're getting paid for having a leverage trade open. Makes no sense, but it's like very interesting setup. So not only low fees, but also positive borrowing rates at times, and you can trade almost every asset on leverage, because they're tapping into the on-chain liquidity on Drift, Camino, and so on of these spot assets, and you can trade a lot of pairs. I'm in the private beta and I tried it out a little bit, and it's really interesting. Like, you have a lot of tokens that you can trade shit like ETH BTC or some shit, or Sol ETH. So basically, when the ratio between Solana and ETH goes up, so when Solana pumps more than ETH, then you're making money, and you can trade that shit on leverage. That is, by the way, the most degen Solana maxi trade you can do. Like, trade Sol ETH on leverage.
Full leverage Sol ETH, you're anti-ETH Sol maxi. That's how you show it right there.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. But besides that, it's actually cool to have access to this market. So Asgard Finance, really interesting, and we have some ideas already around how we can work with them, and also pretty positive feedback when I run them through what we do at Solana ID. And I think it's a great addition for any protocol that is launching something new, and they want just max clout at launch week, right? Peak week. And this is part of your marketing mix, right? That you should do, because we will be able to tap into traffic that you wouldn't get anywhere else, and it's targeted. So I think it's really cool for these launch weeks to work with Solana ID for campaign around that time window. So yeah, just watch out for Asgard Finance. Maybe there's something coming up mid of November together with Solana ID. And yeah, we already have some interesting things we can do. Basically, if everything works out, you'll be able to use the platform completely for free, with no fees anywhere if you're Solana ID holder. But more of that when the time is right. Now, Benny, I have to pick from the things on my list here that I wanted to touch on, because we covered already a lot. We had 2 guests today. We didn't look at the chart. I don't know if we have to look at the chart or if people are going to be mad at me. Guys, please let me know in the comments if you would like to have a quick glance at the Solana chart to talk a little bit about the price and the market right now. Let me know if you want TA and if you want a glance at the market, then just let me know in the comments. Then we're going to do that. When it comes to Solid, the token, there's been mainly sideways movement in the past week. So nothing too much to report when it comes to Solid token. We've been hovering in the sideways range, always around 5 mil FTD right now, which is kind of the sweet spot, and it's also the floor where it's really difficult for us to break below that because no one is really selling around that level. Only buying happens. So that is good for the token, but right now we are here together with Solana and Bitcoin and everyone else a little bit underwater. So yeah, that's the current state of Solid, the token. Definitely bullish. I think right now still a buy zone, not a sell zone. But who am I to say, because I cannot give any financial advice at no time. When it comes to Solana, let's see. TA just going to make us sad, says Hector. Yeah. If you want TA, just tune in to Sol Brothers on Monday, because I think that's a better spot to talk about Solana price action. Today we'll talk about Solana ID. So if you want TA, just make sure to watch the next Sol Brothers EP that's gonna go live on Monday and on YouTube on latest Tuesday. So I have one more thing, maybe, Benny, that we can touch on, and this is around the whole topic of basically what we've been talking about internally. I want to open the discussion a little bit open to the broader public. We only have almost 17,000 views on the stream, so there might be a few people that are listening to this right now, but I don't give a shit. We can say anything or whatever you want to say, you can say it. It's about Solana ID Portal, thoughts regarding the Solana ID Portal. I will open the stage by talking about the product real quick. The portal is in the making since a while, and it is pretty much done right now. We're just doing some finishing touches on the backend structure of it. We're doing some finishing revisions on the front end to get rid of a few misspellings and so on. But the portal is almost there. The portal is a B2B product, so as a consumer, if you're a user of Solana blockchain, if you're a token holder and so on, it won't be interesting for you to use. If you're a holder of Solid token, it will be very interesting for you because it will help us to do better B2B business, which is the main revenue source for Solana ID protocol. And revenue is good because it will find its way back to the token. Now, Solana ID Portal is essentially going to allow the setup for per campaigns automatically, A, and B, it allows you to track these campaigns without any manual work involved. And you can see how that looks like approximately as well on our landing page here, where we explain per campaigns and what they are. And basically the portal is part of this track campaign performance in real-time setup. So once you set up your per campaign with us and you're reaching wallets through our SDN and so on, you have access to like a pretty detailed analysis sheet where you can see how many clicks do you get on your campaigns. And we do some calculations for you that will tell you how efficient these campaigns are really running, how much you're paying per click, and so on. So there's like a bunch of analysis and KPIs that you can dive into. Benny is saying we should focus less on the wizard and on the campaign setup and more on the tracking, because that's really what companies care about. I'm agreeing with him to a certain extent, but I also think that the campaign wizard and the setup of the campaigns can not only streamline internal processes for us better, but it leads also long-term, mid-term to a future where we don't really have to do any manual work anymore to set up these campaigns for our partners. Benny, why should we focus on tracking right now?
I think It's a priority thing, right? Like in my personal opinion, right? There's always opportunity cost to all of our resources, and especially dev resources. There's very limited limited amount of time in the day for devs to be working on things. And I think that there's a lot of very exciting different directions and product additions that we have for Solana ID. I think the wizard will be necessary in the future. Like I definitely think there's a reason, like Google AdSense, for example, they cannot manage the amount of not protocols of businesses coming to them looking to advertise. And hopefully in the future, I think within 6 to 8 months, we will get to that point where it won't be manageable, and we'll either need to grow the team or we'll need to have some of these automated processes. At the moment, though, I think it is manageable, and there are a lot of things that we can build out focusing on the data side, right? I think protocols right now, they're just not ready. They're not ready to set it up independently. A lot of this onboarding for us is explaining not only how Solana ID and on-chain tracking and wallet-based marketing works, because this is brand new to a lot of teams, but also explaining what perks are and what they should be offering. So it's still a big onboarding process, but the data side is fascinating and everyone loves that, especially people that have experience in Web2 marketing. They come into Web3 and it's shocking to them just how little information is available when it comes to KPI and success of marketing budget, right? They're used to like impressions on a KOL that they pay for. That just is not sustainable. So I think that we are solving a problem on the data side. I just don't personally think that the wizard is quite needed yet, and it's gonna take some time.
Yeah. I do agree fully, and I think we have to walk everyone through the setup of the campaigns 100% still. But I do think though that once we're gonna ship the MVP in November for the portal, it's gonna be functional. It's gonna be there. I want to refine it to an extent this year where we can at least use it internally without any flaws to set up campaigns for our customers, right? Because right now it's a pretty manual process. You guys don't know that in the community, what happens behind the screens, but it's a lot of fucking back and forth in Telegram chats and revisions on Notion pages. So it just takes time and effort and resources for us to set these things up. And I want to cut down that effort, right, internally. So we will have a really structured backend with all the campaigns that are live, inactive, pending, and so on. And we can allow the customer who set up the campaign together with us to immediately have a dashboard to access to get the KPIs and data, which is definitely the more crucial pain point right now for the customers that they actually care about. Because we're not gonna grow our business faster from allowing customers to set up their campaigns in a wizard style. Not gonna work. That's not what they need right now. We need to convince them first to set up their campaigns with us. Like we need to do the BD work currently. Next year, I think we're going to enter a stage with this company where we do not need to do that anymore. And it's enough for us to have a neat landing page like perks.solana.id right now, which is kind of the first stage of a landing page, similar to what you get for Google AdSense, right? Where Google explains to you, okay, what are Google Ads and why should I use them? And I want this page in future to do the explanation. We're going to search engine optimize the shit out of this. We're going to have it all over our socials and so on, so that companies on Solana do not need to message us or get a demo. No, they can start now, and they can just log into the portal and set up a campaign and click start. They can start with a budget of maybe 1K, 2K, and then they can track some results and scale it up again without us. If they need help, they'll book a account manager to hop on a call, walk them through. That's where Benny comes in. But at the end of the day, I want this to be automated in future. Today, Benny's actually right. We need to channel our focus on making per campaign smooth overall. It needs to be easy for the customers, for apps on Solana, to spin these things up together with us. We still have a few bottlenecks here and there, including things with Cast where we previously didn't know, okay, how do we do this? Because they don't even have a web app. They only have a mobile app. Like, how do we channel traffic to the mobile app and so on? So we're kind of finding solutions to these questions right now, and that's where the focus should go on. And I think there's one more item that you want the focus to go on, which is something special coming up in November, and we all know what it is. a bigger, larger campaign together with the world's biggest wallet, probably. And this is also something we're spending quite some time right now on to get ready for that. How certain are you that it's going to go down in November? To give the community a little idea of that.
I would say
a
60-40. 60% chance that it happens at the end of November. We are, right now in conversations with them of the, third or fourth week of November and sending over some drafts the first week of November. So things are progressing. And this kind of goes into what you touched on is like, where can we have the most growth? And is a wizard going to lead to the most amount of growth, or is the MetaMask campaign? And this was a whole conversation we had on the side too, where, I think MetaMask is way too important for us to ever even have a chance of something going wrong, right? We want the hub to be absolutely spotless. We want the claiming process for all of these perks to be clean and solid. So all that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dev work. It takes a lot of UI work. Pierre, I walked him through the UI side of the MetaMask and I saw him a little sweat drop off his brow. He's getting a little nervous. So I think we got a lot ahead of us, but it's a good problem to have, right? Is like we have so much work to do, but the outcome of it, the reward of that is insane. And I think it's bigger than most companies even have the opportunity to see in their lifespan, let alone in the first year, 2 years of their product being live.
Yep. So yeah, 60-40 guys, and it's not because of us, by the way. It's because we rely on our partner here for that campaign, and we're gonna eventually have to accommodate their time schedule, right? Which is what we've been doing since a few months. But yeah, not gonna talk further about this now, because when it's gonna be the time to talk properly about it, if we have a higher chance than 60-40, we're gonna let you guys know. For now, I'd like to call it a day or an evening or whatever the fuck it is for you. But we've been streaming for 1.5 hours, and I drank 1 liter of tea, and I really have to pee. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning into Solid Talk today again. Benny, thanks for co-hosting with me today as well. We had a good time here. We had some special guests as well. And guys, again, one last time, if you haven't done so yet, this is your last chance to get your hands on this week's participation NFT, which is a unique NFT that we give to each and every single one who actually participates in Solid Talk. So guys, if you haven't done yet, go to talk.slumber.id, use the special code SOLID, the secret code SOLID, submit the form, and we will send you your participation NFT next week right into your wallet. So thank you so much for tuning in today. You have a very good rest of the weekend, rest of the day, whatever it is for you, and we'll see you at the next one. Until then, either get solid or stay solid. We'll see you next week when it's time for another Solid Talk. Peace out.